What's going on, guys? It's Kyle again with DTOM Knives and Gear, and today we're going to be taking a look at this guy. This is the Something Obscene Company J-Cape. This thing is freaking awesome. This thing was sent in by my good friend and brother, you all know and love, Kevin Lefty EDC. Now, Kevin has another variant of this knife, and he traded it, he traded this knife, for another variant of this exact same knife. This one is going to Joe, aka the Knife Whisperer. They did a trade, and so they have a lot of different variants of this knife. These things are, of course, Something Obscene Company, produced by Riot. And you can basically get a slew of different colors and finishes. This one happens to be the coated blade. I think he traded for Joe's, which is a satin blade, if I remember correctly. Really dig their logo. That is their logo. Little fist punch there with the little, I don't know what that little dude is in the side, and the lightning bolt. And of course, that carries over to this pocket clip. Now, this pocket clip works really well. Goes in and out of pocket great. Some people are just not going to like the flashiness of the lightning bolt. You guys know me. I don't care about that stuff. Matter of fact, I enjoy it. So this thing was really good to carry. It does carry quite well, even with this pocket clip. It does not sit deep carry. You're going to have about that much knife sticking up out of your pocket. Of course, it does not bother me. Will be an issue for some. The shining feature on this knife, though, is the action. Oh, typical Riot action. Look at that. Oh, so buttery smooth, centering right down the middle. Of course, it's Kevin's knife. It's just amazing. M390 steel with a very nice hollow grind, compound grind. So you have a hollow grind here, flat grind here. It is about 16 thousandths behind that edge, and it cuts well. Now, I'm going to do a slice. We'll do that right now. Just get it out of the way. We're going to do a slice of cardboard because Kevin has traded this knife to the Knife Whisperer, and I know he probably wouldn't care, but this is all I'm going to do to show you that it slices. And it slices well. I really enjoy cutting with this knife. That hollow grind is very, very nicely done. It is about 160 thousandths on the blade stock, so, not the thinnest ever, so you're going to have some material push off, but it still slices really, really nicely. It has a nice amount of belly on this drop point blade. Would you call that a drop point or a clip point? I don't know, but you got a nice amount of flat, some belly, nice robustness at the tip because of the compound grind. It's just really, really nice. Now, it's not the biggest knife in the world, so how does it work with my hands? Very, very nicely. I like it because it is a little bit wider here. Still not a very thick knife. It's only just a little, it's a hair over a half-inch thick. But it's wide enough in the handle to fill my hand size out. As you can see, I don't have many knives sticking out. But it fills the hand up. In this backed up grip, my thumb does land on this little ramp here where the jimping is. Such a locked in knife. Like, I don't feel like this thing could go anywhere. That's really, really nice, especially because these titanium scales provide no grip. I mean, this is, flamed tie, which is very, very gorgeous, but doesn't provide any grip. It has a little bit of jimping back here, but that, it kind of bites into my hand a little bit. Don't feel it or anything like that, but it's a very locked in knife ergonomically. It's very comfortable, and I just enjoy it. I really wish I could choke up on this thing. However, it doesn't really need it. I just always prefer that, right? Because this is definitely not a finger choil. It is a sharpening choil. Another design, too, where as you can see, the flipper tab comes back out this way, so my finger is not pressed into that jimping. So it's really comfortable for me, which is not always the case on a flipper knife. So really, really like this design. Ergonomically, as you can see, it's definitely not neutral, but it fits my hand very, very well. It fits Kevin's hands well, fits Joe's hands well. So I think this is going to fit most hand sizes unless you have very, very tiny hands or huge, huge, huge hands. I mean, my hands are big, but I mean, there are people out there obviously with bigger hands. So ergonomically, this is just a total win. Obviously, in all the grips that we never use, reverse grip and all that stuff, it's just comfortable all the way around, and I really, really like it. Now, obviously, flipper only deployment gets boring. You guys all know that. However, the action on this guy is so very nice and very satisfying to play with. I do wish that it had because it's got enough blade sticking out here, I wish it had a thumb hole or a middle flick hole, whatever you want to call it. Something, or a fuller, or something that I could actually get my finger in there and middle flick this thing. Oh my gosh, that would be awesome. Now, they do have a thumb stud version of this knife that is not a flipper, it is thumb studs, and I believe you can middle finger flick that guy. That would probably be my preference. However, I do like the sleek look that this provides. It's just really, really nice. I'm pretty sure that this backspacer is titanium, but I'm not 100%. It doesn't, it's black coated, and I'm pretty sure because the pocket clip is tie, that's got to be tie. You know, very well could be aluminum, but I doubt it. The price on these guys, I really don't think is that bad. Riot made 20 CV steel, titanium, and all sorts of variants. You're going to pay anywhere from $350 to $375. I think that's great. It's right in line with what you get out of Riot, something Obscene companies designs. They actually have quite a few that I need to check out, but this was the only one that I have ever handled, and I'm impressed. I really, really am. Kevin has taken this thing apart. You can definitely see that. I think he's taken this apart. He takes apart all his knives. Now, I can't remember if I saw that. Definitely go check out Kevin Lefty EDC's channel, because I want to say that he took this thing apart and he's got salt and peppers in here. Obviously, I'm not going to do that, but I could be wrong about that. The branding on this knife is really, really minimal. You do have his logo there, and then, of course, where you see the CPM 20 CV, which is in a nice font, backed off. You know, there's really not much going on the blade, which I do appreciate. Not that a lot of branding bugs me unless it's just gaudy, like Microtech. Yeah, that's the kind of stuff I don't like. So yeah, really, really have enjoyed this thing. Let's go ahead, flip the camera around, and we'll get some size comparisons and some specs and a closer look at this really nice flame tie. Can't really get the camera to show you that really, really nicely, but fit and finish, obviously Riot, it's just awesome. So let's get a closer look at the Something Obscene company J-Cape. All right, let's get a better look at this, shall we? Look at this beautifully flamed tie, titanium scales, really, really nice. Something I did not talk about is the jimping that you have to get the lock bar out of the way. It's very nicely done. It is not sharp, but just provides the grip to get this thing out of the way and kind of prominently show off that really smooth freaking drop shut action. So you're not having to just dig your finger in there and push it out of the way. It is very easy and very intuitive to get the lock bar out of the way. That I very much appreciate. There is chamfering around this guy. It is not rounded, but chamfered all the way around, so it's no sharp edges other than where you would expect right here on this very big jimping here. It's not terrible. I've definitely felt worse, but definitely got some grip there, which does help out in the reverse grip. But like I said, when you're in a regular grip, it kind of sits right there in your palm. So yeah, I can definitely tell how it's going to, it would definitely affect you. That's why this thing feels so freaking locked in. Really, really ergonomically great, in my opinion. Even though it's not a huge knife, it is definitely a full-size knife, and it fits me pretty well. I kind of wish I could choke up, but I can't, and that's just one of those things. But I am not complaining whatsoever. Love the blade shape, love the ergonomics. It's just awesome. So overall length on this guy is only about 7 7/8, so just under 8 inches. So definitely full size, just not, usually what I carry, as far as something I call a big knife. It's just a regular size knife, in my opinion. Shut up, Kyle. It does have a blade length of about 3.33, cutting edge of about 3.2, because I measured from here to the end of the knife, and then, of course, the cutting edge from there. The handle thickness, like I said, is just a hair over a 1/2 inch at 5.38. The close length is about 4.625 and about 16 thousandths behind the edge. Really, really nice cutter, by the way. Really enjoy it. Now, you do have full tie with 20 CV. You do have some pretty extensive pocketing in here. Oh, where's my flashlight? You see those pockets? Look at those very big pockets cut out, the lightning pockets. So that definitely does help with the weight. Not that this is a light boy, but definitely helps out with the weight, which is 4.9 ounces. So under 5 ounces, you know, definitely a carryable size knife, especially for me, but people count ounces, which is why I do that. Anyways, let's go ahead and put it up against some other knives. Here it is against the Spyderco Pm2. So the Spyderco Pm2 and this one, Spyderco Pm2's got it by just a hair. You know, as far as the carry, you've got the hump here, but this is a pretty tall blade as well. They both carry really well with this lightning pocket clip. I just really enjoyed it. Not the fact that it just looks cool, but it also carries very, very well. Another full titanium frame lock. Here is the Chavez 229. Very similar knives. Chavez, I think, also has it by just a hair, but two different compound grinds that I really, really love. The hollow and the flat. It's just really nice. I love knives with this. I've been more attracted, I guess, to compound grind knives. This one is technically a Tonto. This one is more of a drop point, but as you can see, very, very similar. Definitely thicker on the Chavez, but you know, I mean, and that's awesome. If you like the look of the Chavez, but you don't really like the skull clip, but you don't mind the lightning clip, I think these two knives are very, very similar. Both made by Riot, and so it's just, you know, awesome. Now, I don't have many flipper-only knives. The only other flipper knife that I have, really, I probably have some other ones around here. But anyway, there it is compared to the Hinderer XM18, 3.5 inch, very, very similar in overall length. Ergonomics are a little bit different, but yeah, as far as the flipping action, the Hinderer, it works and it works well, but the J-Cape is really a lot better when it comes to the flipping action. As you can see, the flipper tab on these, definitely different designs. This one swoops up, this one kind of comes back, and so this, when you're flipping it, you really get right there on that tip. So it's not really the most comfortable. Even though I love my Hinderer, it's not the most comfortable. As you can see, that's where my finger starts when I flip this knife, and then I either do the push button, usually, or the light switch. But either way, it is definitely way more pokey than this design. As you can see, slants down, so my finger lands right there. It's comfortable. It's in the perfect spot for me to just pull down and deploy the knife. So really, really like this, even though it's, you know, not as minimal of a flipper tab as something like the Vero Engineering knives, where it is, you know, in line with the back of the knife. Still not too bad, and I like the fact that they've got the jimping and it slants down at that really perfect angle for my finger to land on and get the knife out of there. So very interesting knife. I really appreciate Kevin Lefty EDC for allowing me to check this out before it goes to Joe. It will be going to Joe now. But yeah, I can totally recommend this knife. I think it's an excellent buy. I think it's an excellent design. If you know, for $350 to $375, I think you can't really beat it. It's really, really nice as far as, you know, nice enough to be something that you carry that looks stylish and whatnot, but also beefy enough to get work done. You know, not too small, not too large. I think it's just a really great EDC knife. And then, of course, you know, link down below for Something Obscene Company so you can see all the variations that you can possibly get. Now, these don't stay in stock very long. But there's, I think Kevin said there's some German company that also has some for sale at the time that he was buying. I'm not sure about, you know, what website that was, but I will definitely link below the Something Obscene Company's website so you can go take a look at all the variations and the knives they have available. Guys, stay safe in this crazy world that we are living in, and we will see you in the next one.